Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the virtual reading series. So I haven't seen you all in a while. We're back and we are having a 4-week series this time as opposed to the 25-week series that we had last time. And this morning, I'm happy to introduce you all to Charlita Hatch. She is the author of Black Boy Joy. And Charlita has a special guest with her today, but we will talk more about that later. So this month's virtual reading series is brought to you by This Woman's Words and Alamance Achieves. As I said, our author for today is Charlita Hatch, and she'll be reading Black Boy Joy. As always, we're going to talk about a literacy resource highlight because I can't let you all have a good book reading and not give you some resources to take home with you. So this week's literacy resource highlight comes from Alamance Achieves, and they have a website page dedicated to resources for learning at home. And of course, this page started when we were going through the COVID pandemic, but now there is information on that page that makes it accessible for you to still be able to learn while you are at home. So I want you all to make sure to check out www.alamanceachieves.org, and it's /learning-resources. If you look in the caption for this post on Facebook, you will find a direct link to the Learning Resources page, and you can find out more about what options they have. They do break it down by subject matter and by age group. So make sure to pick from the right section. And now I'm going to tell you a little bit about Charlita Hatch. And I want you all to know that Charlita told me that I did not have to read this whole bio, but we're going to read this whole bio because the Black girl magic. I live, okay? So Charlita Hatch is nationally recognized and locally impactful. A wife, mom, author, and business change agent with a heart for service and a mind for results, which she has brought to her clients for over 14 years. Passionate about changing the narrative of young Black boys in America, she founded and assumed the role of Chief Mom Officer of the Me 3 Project, which aims to change the narrative of young Black boys in America through positive images, expressive stories, and deliberate advocacy. Through the Me 3 Project, she has produced 4 projects. 2 children's books called Black Boy Joy and Black Boy Joy Christmas Countdown, flashcards called A to Z Be Like Me, and an assortment of puzzles. A graduate of Hampton University, Charlita has received the 2017 Charlotte Athena Young Professionals Leadership Award. She's a member of the 2017 Charlotte Business Journal Top 40 Under 40 and an honoree of the 2016 Cystic Fibrosis Foundation Standout Class. She's been recognized by the Mecklenburg Times as an icon and one of the 2019 50 most influential women in Charlotte. And let us note that icon has a capital I. Let us note that, okay? She has been recognized, she has also been featured in the Charlotte Post, Pride Magazine, and Spectrum News. She is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Jack and Jill of America, and Chapel Memorial Baptist Church. She is also appointed by the City Council to serve on the Civil Service Board. Charlita's energy and passion is contagious. After just one conversation, you will feel fired up and equipped to solve whatever problem you face. You can get to know more about Charlita Hatch by following at Raising Black Boy Joy and at Me 3 Project. And I have included that information in the caption on Facebook as well. And so without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Charlita Hatch to read to us Black Boy Joy.
Good morning, Sharia and friends. I am fired up and ready to go. I am Miss Charlita, and this is baby Amelia. She is 9 months old, and she is going to join us for our story time this morning. So I hope everybody has their listening ears on and ready to get interactive as we share and spread Black Boy Joy today. So hopefully you all will be able to see the pictures. I always like to start out and tell people that I never thought about being a children's book author. And that is to let you know that no matter what you think your dreams are, they can always take shape and they can always continue to grow. This is my son, Mark. Say hi, Mark.
Hi.
And he is the inspiration beyond Black Boy Joy. And so he heard me saying it and he ran right in to listen to his favorite story. This book is written by me, Miss Charlita. That means I'm the author. And it was illustrated by Savon Wallace. Savon was a high school student, a junior in high school, when she illustrated the book, which means she drew the pictures. That also lets us know that no matter how old you are, you can dream big dreams, or no matter how young you are, no one can tell you that your dreams are too big. Let's get started. There's nothing I would rather do than tell the world how much I love you. Black boy Joy, you will always be a son who is special to me.
My old house.
Oh, my sweet and precious boy, you fill my heart with so much joy. Black boy Joy, you will always be a son who is special to me. As you climb out of your bed, let mama's words ring through your head. Black boy Joy, you will always be a son who is special to me. And when you go to school and play, remember how we start each day. Black boy Joy, you will always be a son who is special to me. Whether you choose to play a sport or bake a cake, I will always support the path you take. Black boy Joy, you will always be a son who is special to me. And if there are times when you feel blue, I hope you remember that I love you. Black boy Joy, you will always be a son who is special to me. As you grow up big and strong, you will always have a place that you belong. Black boy Joy, you will always be a son who is special to me. After it's all said and done, just remember that you are my son. Black boy Joy, you will always be a son who is special to me. I hope you enjoyed the reading of Black Boy Joy. I'm going to go back, Miss Sharia, one page, just to remind our listeners that if you look at Black Boy Joy, he is sitting at school in the front of his class. It looks like he's in math class and he's learning. He's not playing around and he's listening. And then he goes off to play. And because he's focused on his schoolwork, he was able to be the valedictorian in his high school class. And that means that he was doing all of his schoolwork and taking his time and double checking his work. So I want to make sure, even though we're going into the summer, that doesn't mean that we stop school. That doesn't mean that we stop reading, that we continue to learn so that we can be prepared for school when it starts. Over to you, Miss Sharia.
You mean summer camp?
Well, that was wonderful. And I just have to say that I'm very impressed because there is so much happening and you are handling it like a champ. I respect that. I
Moms
just need you to
get it
know.
done.
Moms do get it done. They do, in fact. And I just want to elaborate on the fact that you said dream big dream. And I think that that's the perfect way to segue into our questions. So what was your dream behind Black Boy Joy?
So honestly, I was reading books when little Mark was a baby, and we were reading all kinds of books about trucks and books about cars and books that featured working moms with daughters. And I started to notice when I looked at books that was featuring, can you step back for a little bit, baby? When I started looking at books that were featuring little Black boys, they all seemed to be around athletes or civil rights books. And I'm like, what about the books of just boys being boys, liking the red ball, liking the trains, mamas who love their sons? And after researching, I found that less than 10% of children's books feature people of color. And of those children's books, less than 2% are authored or illustrated by a Black person. And so then you start to think about, how does the stories get told? People are telling the stories that they think they know, but if we're not telling our own stories, then they don't get to see Black Boy Joy and his mom going, just loving him and seeing a Black boy through the mother's eyes versus the media's eyes. And so my dream was to spread Black Boy Joy in a way that allowed people to connect and say, oh, he's just like me, or that mom is just like me.
Understood. And I think that's phenomenal simply because, like you said, if we're not telling our own stories and people tell what they think our stories are. And so my next question for you is the most surprising part of your author journey.
Can you repeat the question, Ms. Sharia?
No problem. What has been the most surprising part of your author journey?
Two things. One, how many people are looking for a book like Black Boy Joy who look like us? But surprisingly, how many people think the book is not for them because it's called Black Boy Joy and it is featuring a Black family. And so whereas when you are a Black family, you are prone to get all types of books if you want your home to be filled with books. So we have Elsa books, right? We got Paw Patrol books. We got all kinds of books. But if you don't look like us, you're like, oh, I don't have a son. I have a daughter. That book's not for me. Or I'm not Black, so that book's not for me. I can get it for my Black friend. And I've been having to have the conversation that books allow us to be exposed to so many different things. And books allow us to see different cultures, connect, and to learn. And so you should not just have books in your home that represent you. You should have books in the world, the books in your home that represent the world.
That's right. That's right. Because how do we prepare our kids for the world if we're only using books that show certain people, right?
And then you start to think about how does that feed into how the next generation engages. If we know that even as young as Amelia right now, the images that I'm putting in her face allow her to shape what is right, what is wrong, what do boys do, what do girls do, what do Black people do. Even if the story doesn't say it, the images will tell us that. So if I only show her girls in the kitchen cooking, she could infer that boys don't cook, not because I'm reading a book that says that, but because the images says so.
Or she could infer that she's supposed to cook, like that's what her role is supposed to be, and it's not supposed to be more than that. So I agree with you.
Correct.
Can you tell us about the Me 3 project?
Yes. So the Me 3 project, so I'll back up to the dreaming part. So when I wrote Black Boy Joy, like I said, it was by accident. I was nursing in the middle of the night and I started to write. I couldn't sleep. And I called my girlfriend. I said, I think I wrote a children's book and I don't know how to get started. And she said to me, she said, is it just a book for you? Are you Sunshine Anderson? Are you a one-hit wonder? And I said, hey, I don't know. I hadn't thought about it. I'm like, what do I want this book to do? And I realized that I wanted it to be a catalyst for me to have the conversation that we're having right now. Whether it's to be with you, whether it's to be with boys and girls, whether it's to be with their mommies and daddies and teachers, I wanted to use the book as a tool to be able to say, what can I do to help change the narrative of what it means to be a young Black boy that's liberated and joyful in today's society. And so I realized that in order to do that, I needed to start the Me 3 project so that I could get organized and have a business in place and have a tool that allowed me to be able to have those conversations in various forums.
Okay. All right. So I need to stop right here to say that in your bio, it talked about your enthusiasm being contagious and that it is. I just want you to know.
Let's get fired up. We're going to change the world.
Fired up.
One children's book at a time.
Yes, ma'am. So I have put your social media handles in the feed on Facebook, but let people know where they can find you and follow you.
Absolutely. So you can find me at Raising Black Boy Joy. So part of what I'm trying to do is not only do it through children's book, but just also what it means to be a young Black family in today's society. So you'll be able to see the things that we do that are tradition that you can connect with or relate to or not. So that's at Raising Black Boy Joy on Instagram, and then at Me 3 Project for tips and tricks and tools and resources as we go along this journey of changing it, what it means to be a Black boy today.
And I can tell you that I follow both accounts for Charlita, and I don't have any children, but it is a wonderful, wonderful world with Miss Charlita. I just want you to know. So check out her pages. And I did link her Facebook page in the comment as well. When you click on it to join, you'll have to answer a few questions, and then you'll be your request will be approved to join. And the last question I have for you is, well, actually 2 questions. 1, where can your books be purchased? And 2, what's next for Charlita Hatch and the Me 3 project?
Oh, this is perfect. So you can you can purchase the books at www.me3project.com. And so you'll remember it because it's not me too, but it's me three. And this is really where we're trying to say that when you look at my son, I want you to say he's a part of my village. And when you see him and you see other Black boys, they are your sons too. So www.me3project.com. And Mark and I are so excited that we are co-authoring our next book together. It's called Black Boy Joy, Promoted to Big Brother. And this is when Black Boy Joy not only learns that he's not having a brother, he's having a sister, but that his dad is a big brother. And his dad takes the lead in this conversation and teaches him tips and tricks on how to prepare to be a big brother. So love that we're also changing the narrative in that way, having present and engaged fathers in the home, and learning from our dads what it means to also shape our lives.
You know, Miss Charlita, I feel like we just became best friends. And I need you to know that you are doing a great work. And I know that your kids, even if they can't fathom it now, when they get older, they will truly understand the mark that you made on the world with these projects, with these books, and with these illustrations. That's important, right? To see ourselves in the books. And to know that you're in big old Charlotte, North Carolina, makes me real proud, because you know North Carolina is always on the news for not great things. So this is a wonderful moment for North Carolina.
Yes, raise up.
Look. And so I want to encourage you all again to follow Charlita Hatch. Make sure you're checking out her projects, her puzzles, all the different things that we referenced in her bio, and the different things that are referenced on her website and her social media pages. Make sure you're purchasing those books. And when this new book drops, make sure that you're first in line to get it, so that you can talk to your kids about the importance of Black fathers in the home, about being big brothers, setting examples, and what that looks like for the Black family. Now that we've covered all the basics, we're going to go ahead and leave you all so that you can have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Hopefully hearing Miss Charlita through the screen has inspired you, as it has inspired me to go out and make sure that we're making a difference, one step at a time, one book at a time, one person at a time, right? And so I think back to Dr. Tabitha Spurlock, who was on the virtual reading series last year, and she said, if you empower one, you can inspire many, right? And so that's a good work right there, and that's a good word. So I want us to remember that. This coming week, we have 2 reading series events. So the first one will be the Discover Your Local Library series, part 2. We'll be learning all about North Park and the Mako Bigelow Center in Burlington, North Carolina. That will be Wednesday, June 8th at 6:30 p.m. right back here on Facebook Live. And next Saturday, June 11th, 2022 at 11 a.m., we will have a blast from the past. Author Crystal McLean, who we saw last year when she had written Harmony and the Empty Piggy Bank. This year, she has written No, No, Sonny, Save That Money. And she'll be talking to us about financial literacy for kids and reading her new children's book. So again, that'll be next Saturday at 11 a.m. I look forward to seeing you all at these upcoming events. And if you're not able to attend, remember that you can always catch the replay on my Facebook page. Make sure you like, make sure you share. And if you have questions for Miss Charlita, make sure that you send those over to her through the accounts that are specified. You all have a wonderful Saturday, and I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday evening. Bye.
Bye.